Ho, 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 GPCD listeners. While we're all snuggled up in our beds for the Christmas holiday this week, we didn't want to leave your podcast queue as empty as Santa's cookie plate, so we've joined our friends at one of our sister podcasts, Podcasters Assemble, to stuff an episode of their show down your chimney. And trust us, it definitely works for this holly jolly occasion. That's right, this week we're filling your stockings with a crossover delight, and instead of debating, we're simply fa-la-la-la falling in love with and discussing a true multi-holiday masterpiece, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. We are here to praise, celebrate, and geek out over the stop-motion classic that bridges the gap between Halloween chills and Christmas thrills. If you slay through this episode and want more, be sure to check out the archives from both Great Pop Culture Debate and Podcasters Assembled wherever you listen to your podcasts. 'Tis the season for binge listening after all. And with all of that out of the way, no more waiting, here's the episode.
For years, the best podcasters from around the world have gathered to review, reminisce, and riff on popular franchises. They've assembled Earth's mightiest superheroes, busted their fair share of ghosts, unplugged from the Matrix.
I know Kung Fu.
Kept a watchful eye on Gotham City. Discovered the secrets of Jurassic Park. And other audio adventures. But there were some movies that didn't make the cut. From the creators of Podcasters Assemble comes a movie hype series hosted by a motley crew of talent.
He's just out there delivering presents, freeballing it.
Wow, getting filled up.
Oh man, this
Speaking of
is
Zach.
scandal waiting to happen.
Yeah. What a king. Yeah.
Podcasters Disassemble.
Ah, yes, the holiday's upon us. Maybe not the holiday you're thinking of, but here we are approaching Halloween. And we chose maybe a Halloween movie, maybe a Thanksgiving movie, a Christmas movie, a Disney movie, that I know. Podcasters Disassembled with the Nightmare Before Christmas. My name is Zach from Podcasters Assemble and Disassembled and all the other stuff that you tolerate me doing. Joined again by the lovely Eric Slater. Hello, Eric.
What's this? What's this?
It's a podcast,
Sorry.
Eric.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Hey, glad to be
You've
back.
done this once before, maybe.
Once or twice.
We also have some great special guests with us. Who are they, Eric?
So yeah, today I'm excited to say we're joined by Eric Resniak and Bob from the Great Pop Culture Debate. And they joined us previously on our episode for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And their podcast is an absolute delight. I highly recommend it. Definitely check out the Lord of the Rings episode with Zach. They've also got 80s cartoons, Star Trek, kaiju, like pretty much everything in pop culture. They've covered it, and it's always a good time.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I was going to make a joke. We have a podcast, but we do. We have a podcast. We're excited to be guesting on yours, and I'm going to hand it over to Diz nerd Bob Erlenbach, who's kind of the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson over on the Great Pop Culture Debate.
Heyo. So yeah, well, thanks for having us. Yes, we tolerate Zach sometimes also on our podcast, and
Occasionally.
yeah, maybe Eric Slater will have to come at some point too. For some,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
but we are a debate podcast where we take a topic from a public poll that we put on our website. We take the results of that poll, build them into a bracket, and debate them down, kind of March Madness style. That's a sports reference for those sports folks out there. That's not me, but
Sport?
I got that
sports
reference.
ball. We just debate them down amongst a panel of usually 4 or 5 people, typically 4, where we just, as we say, and Eric will say, is we just insult each other, all for your amusement, and we're savage to one another sometimes, and like on the boy band episode, I recommend that one too.
It nearly ended a 30-year friendship. That's not an exaggeration. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was intense.
Because I've
Absolutely.
heard some of the episodes where you really get animated, and we're all really passionate when we're talking, we're arguing, and sometimes it's hard to tell. I don't think it's a bit. That is emotion coming out, but I didn't realize it got that heated.
Oh, it gets very intense, and so I'm a homosexual, and it's part of my culture to speak with my hands and to get very animated, and so yeah, there have definitely been multiple episodes with multiple panelists where things get very intense, but then we kiss and we make up later. It's a one big happy dysfunctional family.
Not to keep plugging us too, but Zach, you were on it. I had some very strong emotions during our kaiju episode, so I
Yes,
think
you
that
did, and I
very emotional.
100% understand that.
Yeah.
That's a touchy subject for some of us.
It is.
It was a great episode. Go listen to it. I had a lot of fun on there. I have fun every time I'm on with you guys, and there's so many great, like Eric touched on, pop culture, just topics that you dive into. And you've got a bunch of stuff on Patreon because you start with like sometimes 30 something.
Yeah, so most of the episodes start with the top 32, and those are decided by the public polls. Usually we get between 100 votes. Sometimes we get 500 to 600 votes. And so we take the top 32 answers. We start from that and then kind of distill it down via arguments to the top 16. And then our public episodes pick up at the 16 and go to the ultimate number one. And then we have the people responding to us on social media about the many ways in which we were wrong, which I love because it's all about starting discussion. It's never like, yes, we say we pick the ultimate winner, but the truth is it's really just about celebrating all this amazing pop culture out there, which is, what we're here to talk about as well. An amazing film that has lasted the test of time.
And honestly, if it's just an echo chamber, it's not always that interesting.
Correct.
You want differences of opinions. You want to have that.
Yeah. And there are a couple panelists we have who are deliberately there for that purpose. So yeah.
I'm just being contrarian is an often used term.
Yeah.
I'm usually the instigator, I think I'm called. So I'm a professional asshole. That's what I try to pain in the ass. That's a professional pain in the ass. That's what I've been called.
And pain in the ass is really just recreational for me, but I hear you. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I love you guys. This is going to be a fun episode.
Definitely. So real quick, speaking of like emotion about movies, a lot of people had some beef with me on the last one.
What?
No, for not absolutely loving Mars Attacks. Some of our listeners, they had some choice words, and apparently one of those happened to be Bob
is here.
So I guess we'll give you the floor for a second to talk about your love for that movie.
Yeah, we taught again. Shameless plugs. We did a best Tim Burton movie bracket. We did a debate on this, and it was my choice to do that debate. He's one of my favorite directors, creators. With most of what he does, there are some absolute flops in the mix, but Mars Attacks I don't feel is one of them. And we do talk about Mars Attacks with all of its problems, and there are some problematic points to it, but all in all, I think it's a lot of fun. I agree that there is a mean spirit, I think, to it, but there's a mean spirit to me sometimes as well. So maybe I relate to that a little bit. No, just kidding. But I really love it. I think it's a great movie. There are absolutely problems with it. Like specifically, you guys very much call it out in the episode regarding do the Martians have two sexes like we do?
Yeah, that is so cringy. That was cringy back then.
It is not something you can get away with, and we shouldn't have been able to get away with it at the time either. But we didn't have the language back then also. But
true.
Anyway.
In Eric's defense, I would say Mars Attacks was not well received when it came out. I'm old enough to remember and saw it in the theaters, and it was panned by critics and was not successful at the box office. So you were not alone on that hill, Eric. I just want to make that clear.
It's just kind of funny because I'm usually the one that loves like the crappiest of movies that we watch. Like Zach's like, really? And for whatever reason that one didn't hit, but that's kind of a rarity for me.
Yeah,
come through Eric's with terrible takes. I love it. This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Yeah.
You put Sylvia Sidney in what was her final performance, I do believe. Listening to Slim Whitman, I think it was.
It was Slim Whitman.
Give me that all day long. Yeah. My caseworker. So
I will say I have new appreciation for it.
Yeah.
After that episode. But I do think it's funny that we talked about Tim Burton's Mars Attacks last time, where I said that, it would have been better if they used stop motion instead of CG. So
Mhm.
it's kind of interesting that we just so happen to be talking about this one today.
Yeah.
Wait, is this a Tim Burton stop motion film?
Kind of, sorta. It's
I
Burton adjacent, right?
no idea.
It's
We-
literally called Tim
Tim
Burton's
Burton's. Yeah.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
They just thought it had a certain ring to it.
Yeah.
So,
And which is when we were going back and forth between the different films to talk about, this came up in conversation, and we said, you know what? It was released in '93. It's 2023. It's a milestone year. Let's talk about this because we'll have another Christmas movie we're going to talk about, but we could work this into Halloween without a problem.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to an extraordinary world filled with magic and wonder. Open your mind and let yourself go to a place where every day is Halloween and every night Jack Skellington
I am the Pumpkin King!
dreams of something different.
What is this? It's someplace new.
Jack, look out!
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair. What is this? Haven't you heard of peace on earth and goodwill toward men?
Touchstone Pictures presents the enchanting story of two very special dreamers and the holiday spirit that brought them together. From the imagination of Tim Burton comes The Nightmare Before Christmas.
And what did Santa bring you, honey?
So for those of you, I don't know who has not seen Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, the short synopsis is the film follows the misadventures of Jack Skellington, Halloween Town's beloved Pumpkin King, who has become bored with the same annual routine of frightening people in the real world. And then Jack accidentally stumbles upon Christmas Town. All bright colors, warm spirits, and he gets a new lease on life. He plots to bring Christmas under his control by kidnapping Sandy Claus and taking over the role. But Jack soon discovers that even the best laid plans of mice and skeleton men can go seriously awry.
did you write that?
No.
Okay.
No, I did not.
I appreciated the Sandy Claus shout out.
Oh yeah.
I did edit some of that, and Sandy Claus was one of them. But no, I did not write all that.
Okay.
Thank you for thinking so highly. Strike that ever. If I read something that's good, nope, didn't write it. Don't worry.
So one thing I think we should point out right away is that even though this might be the most Tim Burton-y movie ever made, he didn't actually direct it.
Correct.
He's a
Yep.
big part of it, but it's directed by Henry Selick,
Mhm.
who's also known for Coraline and James and the Giant Peach.
James is another one that I actually have never seen. I remember seeing all the trailers for it when it came out. And it was after this film. I think it was after this film. And I went,
Yes.
oh, hey, look,
Yeah.
another, for me, this is, I think, one of the first stop motion movies I saw. I remember the
Mhm.
Rankin and Bass Christmas specials and all those, but
Oh,
this is
of
my
course.
first sit down, fully, stop motion, which for Disney was a little bit different.
Yeah, James and the Giant Peach was not nearly as good as it should have been. And that one, Jack Skellington is in it though, for a brief
Yeah.
moment.
Are you
Really?
talking about, a cameo
James and-
based on
yeah.
the source material you were talking about, Bob? It should have been better
Yeah.
based on,
It
the
should
book
have
is
been
one of my
much-
favorites.
Yeah, the book is great. The movie itself should have been a little bit better. And I think also it's funny, you mentioned Henry Selick being the director of Nightmare Before Christmas, and Zach obviously referencing this as a Disney film. It was a Touchstone picture when it came out. It was not a Disney
Right.
picture.
Disney decided to pass it down due to, I think, the content.
Yeah.
They were worried
Mhm.
about being too scary. So
Yep.
they said, all right, well, sister subsidiary Touchstone will actually handle it.
Yeah. And now it's a cash cow for them.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
yeah.
Bob, you're our resident Disney expert. They've completely integrated this in Halloween into the actual theme parks. Like it's
Oh,
part
that's
of their
awesome.
the Haunted Mansion, correct?
They do it in Disneyland. They do a whole layover of the Haunted Mansion to include all of this Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. And they do a Halloween party at each of the parks. And it's Oogie Boogie's Bash at Disneyland, and it's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Disney World. But it has all the music. Jack Skellington hosts like the fireworks show. It's very integrated into what they are now.
That's awesome. I really got to check that out one of these days.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Disney, but I remember being surprised that this was technically a Disney movie because back when this came out, Disney movies were a very specific thing. But now, it's a whole different world now. We have Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, Marvel movies are all technically Disney movies now. So,
Yeah. When this came out, you were in the middle of the kind of Disney animation renaissance, right? And you said a whole
yeah,
new
Lion
world.
King and
Yeah, very
Beauty and the
literally a
Beast.
whole new world, Aladdin.
Yeah.
So they were very much in that lane and they were not strictly girl-leaning films, but that was, I
Mhm.
think, a lot of the market share, which is why they went for Pirates and Marvel, etc., to get some more gender parity in the picture. But yeah, they were very squeaky clean at that point.
Mm,
Disney in the '90s was like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right? It was
right.
not this.
Yeah. But we'll have to do a whole season on Disney one of these days. Yeah, that's a whole conversation for another day. I just wanted to touch on it.
Yeah.
So this came out back in October 13th of 1993, limited release, and then at the end of on the 29th, it was United States wide. When was the first time that you saw this, Eric Slater?
Oh, definitely as a kid, and I remember it scaring the crap out of me the first time I saw it. I was probably too young for it, but it stuck with me, and it was one of those things like where I was like, I'm gonna watch it again. I don't know. I had this thing where like if something scared me, I had to like figure out what it was about it. Like I don't know, confront that fear, and eventually I kind of became obsessed with it. Like this and like a bunch of other Tim Burton movies that like really freaked me out the first time I saw him. But yeah, I freaking love this movie. I've seen it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What about you, Eric Resniak?
So it's interesting. My earliest memory of this movie is I'm a big comic nerd, and I recall at the time every comic book had ads for this movie. It was like
Oh,
constantly like astroturfed. You could not open a comic book without a Nightmare Before Christmas ad. I don't think I saw it in the theater. Bob, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we saw it because at that point we were friends.
We did not see it in the theater together, but I did see it in the theater, but I'll let you finish your experience.
Yeah. I was this was mid high school for me, and I'm pretty sure I was either too poor or too much of a loser to see it in the theater. So I'm pretty sure at that point it would have been VHS, not DVD. So I'm pretty sure watched it first on VHS, probably from Blockbuster, and I thought it was very charming from the get go. But yeah, I'll pass it over to Bob.
Did you get that, everyone? He's old. VHS.
Blockbuster Video. Yeah.
Blockbuster. I still have my card. But anyway, I saw this in October of 1993. I saw it I believe within probably the first few weeks, if not the first week that it came out. It was something that I anticipated, was excited to see. I'm a big Tim Burton fan. I saw Beetlejuice when I think I would have been 10 at the time. It scared the crap out of me, and I questioned life after death with my parents after that movie. It was it was a very interesting conversation. But anyway, so I was very much in the Tim Burton pocket, and for me, just this is my jam. Animation, very unique style. I wasn't really a goth kid by any stretch, and I was
No.
very much a nerd, but but it was very like the weird, goofy, off the wall, zany, like weird angles and colors. Like it was just very much my thing. I wasn't going to stick to Disney was too, but I wasn't going to stick to just that mainstream stuff. I really loved the visual style and the look of this, so it was something I was very excited about. So I saw it back then with a couple friends that weren't Eric, because he was probably hanging out with wannabe rappers at the time. I'm not sure, but that's an inside joke. Sorry, everybody.
I'm convinced that this movie is the reason I became a goth kid after this.
I think there's truth to that. It is a
Mhm.
gateway drug. I think
It
there were
really
like,
is.
would we have had the scene of the early 2000s if The Nightmare Before Christmas did not exist for tweens who were like, I can be that sad girl. Like, honestly,
It
Yep.
built an entire retail establishment of Hot Topic.
It
It's
did.
true.
You're right.
That is so true.
that and Avril Lavigne 100% copy and pasted before copy and paste even existed. The Nightmare Before Christmas. You know it.
Thinking back, I can't remember if I did see this in theaters. I know that we owned it because it came in the big plastic super large container like most Disney and kid
So many of
video
those.
boxes did. Took up so much space. My parents hated them.
Clamshell. It's a clamshell.
Yeah.
But I love those things. And yes, I'm old. I had VHSs. I still do in my basement. I don't know what I'm doing with them, but there they are. And I remember loving this film and just being enthralled with watching stop animation
Mhm.
like of this
Oh,
quality.
Yeah.
Rudolph
100%.
and all, again, the Rankin Ambassador I would see every year. It was impressive, but not to this level. You know, this
is
to
the
me was
bar.
mind blowing for me to see stop animation at this point, or even going as back as like King Kong, where you look at that stop animation, you go, it's rough by our standards now, but at the time it was, oh my goodness, look at this giant gorilla.
Yeah.
Super impressive for the 30s.
I was going to say that if you think about it, has there been any other movie that's come out since that has moved stop animation forward even more than this? Coraline and James and the Giant Peach we mentioned, but I don't think they were the quantum leap that this was compared to anything that came before it.
I think Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is as far as we've gotten, and he's definitely
Forgot
playing
about
still
that.
with the form a little bit, but it doesn't push it much farther by any stretch. And I've only seen a small amount of that movie, but that's we don't get a lot of stop motion like this at all. Give me Gumby, damn it.
Yeah, I used to love Gumby.
We loved Gumby.
Real quick about stop motion, does Kubo and the Two Strings count, or was that partially CG? Because
I
that
don't
was pretty.
know.
At least the animation part of it was really good, I thought.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know.
if it is or not. Wallace and Gromit would fall into this category too.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know as though that's pushing the envelope at all. It's just very
No.
good animation.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We had, I'm looking up a list of stop motion. 2000, we had Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Ooh,
That's right.
That one is
It's a great movie.
999 from 2009. I never saw that.
Nope, don't know what that
It
is.
was kind of
In 2003, there was a pilot film for a series called Kurakura and Friends. That was in Korea.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Since 2009, stop motion successors have released feature films, but they're not really stop motion. Well, Box Trolls? That was a
I've
yeah, Box
heard of
Trolls.
Box
yeah,
Trolls.
it is. It's stop motion, 2014. Kubo and the Two Strings and The Missing Link is the last one listed. 2019, The Missing
Wow.
Link.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they all still go in the same lane as this movie, though, right? Like, I don't think that it's a huge leap for any of those films that I can think of off the top of my head. And people can totally drag me in the comments if you so desire. Like, Bob, you asshole! This picture is fantastic, and you didn't give it credit. But whatever.
I haven't seen any of them, so I can't really say how they stack up. If there is a wow, look how much further they've gone from Nightmare. I'm sure if you watch them, like maybe the editing's a bit cleaner. Maybe they have a little bit more range with facial options, especially where one is a skeleton.
Yeah.
Maybe, but. I don't know how much for. I won't know until I go watch, I guess, Missing Link, which would be the most recent one from 2019.
I will say that this one, like stop motion wise, holds up extremely
Really
well.
Mhm.
Like if you look at like the early CG movies from like just a couple years later, like Toy Story and stuff, like those, I mean, the stories are still great, but the animation hasn't aged well at all.
The first Toy Story, you go back and watch, you go, oh, this is the first one. You can
Yep.
tell. But even by
Uncanny
the
Valley all over the place.
yeah, but you see a big jump after the next few films. You see that
Oh, yeah.
Pixar started to hit their stride and went,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right, this is our wheelhouse. This is what we've got going on. And they've become beautiful films.
Mhm.
You know, Pixar has created such beautiful landscapes.
Definitely.
But
That's another
Pixar
future season, by
Pixar
the way.
films, that's a whole other conversation that we will get to.
Yes, it is.
So taking a look at our cast for Nightmare Before Christmas, we have Chris Sarandon is the speaking voice for Jack Skellington. Danny Elfman, the man, the myth, the legend himself, who did music, also is the singing voice for Jack. Elfman also voices Beryl, one of the trick-or-treaters for
Wow.
Oogie Boogie, and the clown with the tearaway face.
Mm,
That's
that's
crazy.
right.
Yeah.
It's actually a
Wow.
very small
That blows
cast
my
for this
mind.
film. And when I was rewatching it for this, I was just like, oh, there's Catherine O'Hara again, because she's not only Sally, she's
Oh.
also whatever the girl of the trio of goons is. She
Shock.
also
Oh, okay. I could see that. Yeah.
Stock.
I hear it
Stock.
now.
And as soon
Yeah,
as she
Stock.
talked, I was like, well, there's Catherine O'Hara again. But yeah, it's a very small voice cast. It's only I think maybe a dozen people total for the whole film.
I mean, of the main people there, yeah, there's not many. You got Catherine O'Hara. She's a toxicologist who has feelings for Jack. William Hickey is Dr. Finkelstein, the mad scientist, the father of Sally. Glenn Shaddix is the mayor of Halloween Town. I love him.
Otho from Beetlejuice.
He's like the shark.
Yes.
He's like the mayor from Jaws.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, the mayor from Jaws, but you do see quite a few people from Beetlejuice here because Tim Burton likes to utilize people that he sees potential in, and he likes how they work.
He definitely finds muses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got Ken Page as Oogie Boogie. Ed Ivory is Santa Claus. Paul Rubens, Locke, the third of the tricksters that worked for Oogie Boogie. And of course, the man who's in every fucking movie as every animal ever from 1970 to today, Frank goddamn Welker.
It's true.
He is Zero, Jack's pet ghost
Are
dog.
you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Alan Tudyk is the new Frank Welker.
It's
Yes.
true.
Oh,
That's
without a
100%.
doubt.
And I love
Yeah.
I love me some Alan Tudyk, but I also love me some Frank Welker.
Frank Welker
Yeah.
was in Mars Attacks.
Yes, he
Yes,
was.
right?
Martian.
That's what he did.
So
All right.
good.
So getting into the film, our plot, our lovely, lovely film here. We open up in the world of Halloween Town. Well, actually, first we see the holiday trees and a little narration. Which, side note, I didn't realize this, but for a prologue and an epilogue in one version, Patrick Stewart recorded a narration for it.
Huh,
Interesting.
wow.
That's
It is
interesting.
included on the soundtrack to the album, although not in the film.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I also love me some Patrick Stewart.
Absolutely. Are we talking about the prologue right now? Because there was something I noticed in the most recent viewing that I was like, oh,
Sure.
that's interesting.
Go ahead.
Am I crazy or am I stupid that I never realized this before? I think the scarecrow in the very beginning, the first thing you see in this film, is actually Jack.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
I never realized
What?
that until this time because when he comes into the parade, into Halloween Town, he is the
Huh.
scarecrow. He sets himself on fire
Yes.
and jumps into. I never realized that until now.
Yeah, we go through. We see the trees, and then we go right to Halloween Town, and then we have "This Is Halloween" song.
One
Is
more
it-
note about the trees. We
Yes.
see different holidays.
Yes,
I
we
always
do.
thought that was super clever. Like, we don't really go to a lot of these places, obviously, but just the fact that they exist, is kind of neat. I like the world building there.
I was gonna bring them up when Jack gets to them, but why not now?
Okay.
So the holiday trees. We have Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, Independence Day. I'm guessing Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. So since Jack from Halloween Town scares people in the real world, and Santa Claus from Christmas Town delivers presents to people in the real world, you would tend to think that these trees are just forms of transportation within the world to the different towns of the holidays, correct?
Yes, that's how I
Yes.
interpret it.
Yeah, like a teleporter.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Would we guess that each town have their own set of trees?
I-
Is each town have their own set of trees? Or is it Is
They
that
would
how
have
it works?
to.
You would have to, yeah.
probably, huh?
Because
They have to
otherwise, they'd have to walk to somewhere in the middle where this grove of trees are, and then they'd be able to go to wherever they wanted to. But I doubt that Christmas and Halloween Town and Valentine's Town are all equally dispersed from this grove of trees.
Who lives in 4th of July town?
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam, a giant eagle with fireworks strapped to its ass. I'm
Hot
not
dogs. Just hot dogs as people.
The metaphorical version of George Washington.
Yes,
and Abraham
exactly.
Lincoln,
With
like-
wooden teeth.
yes, just chopping that cherry tree.
Yeah, exactly. From the first time I watched this movie, I was like, okay, well, when are we getting like the Nightmare Before Easter? When are we getting the Nightmare Before Thanksgiving
So
Day?
many possibilities.
So many, like, where's the
Palm
Nightmare
Sunday.
Before Arbor Day? The Nightmare Before Daylight Savings Time, where he changes places with Cher? Like, how did Disney not mind this IP? I'm very confused.
They did want to make a sequel, but Tim
Whoa.
Burton, he pushed back pretty hard on it. I'm
Dang.
surprised he had the ability to do so, because it very much has his name on it. I'm very curious as to the ownership of the property, and it is a Disney, like how much does Disney own versus him? Because the rumor is that Disney very much wanted to create it, but he's like, no, this is a one thing. This is perfect the way it is. It's, he didn't want it and he pushed back. And
I respect that.
yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Back in the
Respect that
90s
one,
when Tim Burton actually had some type of creative
Right.
spine and like wasn't just selling like, oh, live action Dumbo, you'll pay me how much? Sure. Like, come on.
Well, after we wrap up going through the story and the plot, I want to come back to that point of a sequel because I want to go down a rabbit hole with you guys, if that's okay.
Is it the tree with the egg on
A
it?
rabbit hole. I was going to say, thank you. I see what you did there, Jack. Yeah.
Nice.
So jumping back into the story, Jack Skellington, who is the scarecrow, lights himself on fire, comes out of the not pond, the what is
Cauldron?
Cauldron.
Fountain?
Yeah,
Fountain. There we go.
fountain,
Thank you.
fountain.
Yeah.
Everyone is infatuated with Jack, like creepily infatuated with him. He's like, no, we're good. I don't want to come over. Just leave me alone.
For a skeleton. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't really pick up on that as a kid, but now watching as
No,
adults, like,
went
oh,
right over
damn.
Oh, yeah. Like the witch's
creature-
throw. Yes,
Yeah.
the
From
creature.
the Black Lagoon was like all about it.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely has big
Like
dick
creepy.
energy for a skeleton,
You
I will
make
say that.
wounds ooze and flesh crawl.
Yes. Oh man.
Then we see Sally, who is the Frankenstein type ish monster. She ends up being confronted by Dr. Finkelstein, her creator, and we learn that she can escape by removing her appendages and running away, and then is still in control, either in control of her appendages or her appendages are in control of themselves, because then they start smacking the doctor on the head.
Thank goodness there is not a ragdoll male character, because I'm not sure what appendages we'd be removing in that
Oh,
scenario.
wow.
But
Point.
Yeah.
Oh
Good
God.
I want to point out for the listeners at home, if you don't realize while you're watching this, the Dr. Finkelstein, William Hickey, is also Uncle Lewis from Christmas Vacation with Bethany and Uncle Lewis. You couldn't hear a dump truck going through
That's
a
right.
nitroglycerin plant.
Yes, he is.
That was a very good impression of him. That was dead on.
That was
Yeah.
good. Oh God, I hated his he did it so well. I hated his character.
Yes.
He played it so well.
The blessing.
The blessing. Yeah.
I do love this whole opening because we kind of get like a who's who of Halloween, zombies, skeletons, vampires, witches, jack-o'-lanterns. We even get a mad scientist. So like I love all of that.
Also, the
Really
song is
sets
a
the
bop.
tone.
Like
Mhm.
this is
Yeah.
Halloween is giving. Like it's terrific.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I for the like what do you call them? Incidental characters. I love the trio of vampires. They're very like
Yeah.
arch and like kind of very precise. Like they're all
Yep.
coordinated. They're hilarious.
Mm,
And they're all
definitely.
different. They're all unique.
Yep.
One thing I picked up on again as an adult, they have a werewolf there, but in my mind, I'm going, well, he's a werewolf all the time. He's not a werewolf. He's a dog man. Oh,
Ah.
There's a difference.
There is.
This is where we learn that Jack is, he's stuck. He's sick of the same old thing. He's lost interest in Halloween. He's just going through the motions. We see a little bit more of Sally watching Jack as he wanders off into the woods, and she ends up grabbing some herbs from the graveyard, as you do, before you return home. The next day, our mayor shows up at Jack's house to discover that he's missing and that Jack has been walking so long. This is where we are reintroduced to our grove of trees, where we get a little bit more of a look at the different trees that are around. While he's infatuated with the Christmas tree, he opens it up and then is magically sucked inside and transported to Christmastown, which I kept calling North Pole, but here it is Christmastown.
Yes, that it is.
For me, I love this song.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
This
yeah.
Oh,
is
yeah.
one of
It's
my
so
favorite
freaking
songs.
good.
So good.
The whole soundtrack is so damn catchy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
lyrics, though, are just so well written. They're so clever. As far as musicals go, this was pretty high ranking for me.
Danny Elfman said this was probably the easiest thing he's ever written. The songs were written before the script, before, all of that. Like, Danny Elfman was about this. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
injected into my veins. I'll just write it.
When you
he
think about
loved
his
doing it.
background and where
Mhm.
he came from before he started doing movie scores, that makes sense. If people don't know, Danny Elfman was the lead singer and the guitarist for Oingo Boingo, which is an 80s new wave band.
Mhm.
And you probably hear them every Halloween on Halloween party playlists where they have Dead Man's Party, which is their big hit. So like this for him is totally in his pocket. But the thing I kept thinking watching this time was like, how is there not a stage musical of this? Because it would
Right.
work brilliantly, and it like a pacing. It actually is a stage musical more than it's a movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
agree.
can see it.
Speaking of the soundtrack, have y'all listened to the remix album they put out? I think it was called
No.
Nightmare Revisited.
I didn't.
You don't know
that
about this?
existed.
No.
Yeah, it was like, I want to say for like the 15th anniversary or something, but it's got like all these bands that like did like they redid all the songs basically. You even have like Marilyn Manson and Korn on there.
That's
Wow.
very early 2000s. That's
It's very early 2000s.
Very
yes.
on brand as well.
It is, yeah.
Absolutely look it up, because like you at least need to listen to it once. It's especially if you're a fan of the movie. It's really interesting what they did.
Great.
corn. I don't remember
Yeah.
eating corn.
Corn with a K.
I remember that reference. There actually apparently are several live adaptations of the film that have
Oh.
been performed all over different parts of the world. Because I remember seeing images, and I just did a quick search, and there's one where Jack is just completely like, it's all done with face paint. But now I see another one where someone's actually wearing like the head. So they have done some live musical stage adaptations.
Cool.
I don't know if
Nice.
I don't think it's New York, on Broadway, but
Deserves
I
it.
saw something on YouTube that was like a live action thing. Maybe that was one of them. A guy was dressed as Jack, and I played it for about 30 seconds. And I was like, nope. That man thinks he's much better than he is. And I'm like, bye-bye.
He was watching and he said, "What's this?"
Yeah, I go,
What's this? What's this?
I'm turning this shit off. What's this?
exactly. Yes.
That's great.
This was one of the times, I mean, you saw the amount of detail that goes into this film, but it's much easier to see the amount of detail with Christmastown because it's so dynamic with the colors, trying to work in snow. And you do have a certain amount of animation, not just stop motion, but, drawn here and there when needed. But man, Christmastown was fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a cool sequence.
Yeah.
It was lit, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it's very bright.
And
awesome.
again, that song is bop, is amazing, is that whole sequence is so well choreographed and creative. And he pulls the light, the string of Christmas lights, and they go inside his eyes and illuminate his eyes, and like as he's pulling on the string, and it's so well done. And you hear, and they use the word queer in the middle of the look.
Oh,
in here,
yeah.
how queer.
Which and again and nowadays, like you hear that word and you forget what it
Yeah,
meant
it's true.
so long ago. And I heard, I knew it was coming because in my mind I went, oh yeah, this is when they used the word back before, when it actually had a different meaning than
Yeah,
today.
and it is used in its purest form of
Yes.
the meaning
Yes.
of the
Right.
word. Like, it means nothing other than what he intends it to mean in that moment. It's really interesting.
Exactly.
It's a good educational moment, truthfully,
Yeah.
for a new generation, because they're going to
For
hear
sure.
it and go, "What? That tree is gay?
It's true.
No, no, honey, no. Here's a dictionary. Let's educate you a little bit."
Jack Skellington walking the children through nature. Yeah.
But I do love this sequence, and what's really great about this movie that really stood out to me this time is that it's so genuine. Like there's a clear love for both of these holidays, and like in the purest form, and it's just it really shines. It's like it really does give you the feeling of the Christmas holidays, the best version of that. I know there's kind of some negative toxicity that comes with that for some people, but like, you know, the good side of Christmas, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, a running theme for Burton too. Like, you have Batman Returns, you have this, you have
Yes.
Edward Scissorhands. Like,
Best Christmas movie
he
ever.
goes back to Christmas a lot, and I think he finds the alternatives to Christmas, the alternative edge to Christmas, the subversive, is that the word I'm looking for?
Yes. I think you're
Pieces
totally
to Christmas, and
the
really
nail on the
kind of
head.
puts them out there on display, and really gives a Christmas that is not that he enjoys, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. And I agree. That's such a great point, Eric, that there is not an ounce of cynicism in this film.
That's what surprised me.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting it.
Yeah.
So back in Halloween Town, no one can find Jack. They've been all over the town. They've trudged the lake. They've gone everywhere. They're losing their shit because there's only 364 days till the next Halloween,
Yeah.
and they don't know that's not enough time to plan.
No.
364.
Oh, it stresses me out.
Sally then drugs her master because she loves to cause trouble. She makes an escape because at this point Jack has returned to Christmas Town on a snow track mobile. Somehow, I'm guessing he brought through a tree. I guess
he found a skidoo, and he just plowed through that tree. The tree's probably gone.
Grand Theft Auto, honey. That's what it was. Yeah.
It's my only way back to Halloween Town. Here we go. So Sally makes off to go see what's going on. Jack brings back all this Christmas stuff, and he's trying to convince the Halloween Town to do something different, which they all seem kind of lost. They have no idea, no concept. They didn't see what he has seen. They also are still fully in love with the idea of Halloween. They haven't become disinterested, so Jack has to put a little bit of a twist on it, and hence Sandy Claus. And there's a dark evil side to it. Oh, okay. Well, now everybody's on board.
Can I stop there too to talk
Yes.
like the painstaking detail of this scene and some other scenes to come as well, with the number of characters that they're handling in just one scene. Even at the beginning, we didn't talk about it with the fountain, but like, to think about how much manpower there must have been behind pulling that off to make sure that every item is moving in every frame. The number of animators that must have just been standing on standby to get the shot, move in, make your move out. Like, it is flawless and so sophisticated. They could have been so lazy in the way that they executed that, but they executed it at such a high level of just detail that it's just like, wow. Like, not only is there not cynicism about this movie, and there is genuine love and affection for its subject matter, but there is such love and affection for the art form of animation from the folks animated. And I think this is one of those scenes that features that and puts that on display more so than some of the other scenes in the rest of the movie. So
I'd also like to take this opportunity to talk about something that struck me as an adult watching this. The residents of Halloween Town in that town hall are incredibly professional and respectful. And I don't know if you've watched any town hall or school board meetings in the last 5 or so years, but like, these are actual monsters and they're very respectful.
And there isn't a boo among them.
And they're being educated, and they're just like, okay, that's so interesting. And like, you go watch like C-SPAN or like your local towns, like it's a mess out there. So good for you, Halloween Town.
They would be rejecting this. No, change? Absolutely not. But
make Halloween Town great again. Yeah.
I do love how they kind of embrace the idea. You know, it's totally foreign to them. They have no context for it, but they're like, yeah, sure, I'm on board.
Yeah.
I do
Once
like that
once
fact.
Jack gets him, Jack knows how. He knows. I don't think he's necessarily manipulating them, but he knows. He's like, look, I'm gonna give them what
He's a
they want.
politician.
So here we go.
Give them what they want, Daddy Jack. Give them what they want.
Big dick energy, like I said. Yep.
I honestly don't know why he's not the mayor. There's
Right?
a line that the mayor says where he says, I'm only an elected official. I can't make decisions by
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And it's the best freaking line. And it's so true. Like,
Yep.
that's usually what we end up with.
Look at
Like,
Congress.
this is the kind of guy. Right. Like all
They
of,
blew
like
up
all of Congress.
Yeah. Sorry, that's a Mars Attacks reference, everybody.
That was a good one. I understood that reference.
Listen to our previous episode. Jack then begins doing all of his research with all these Christmas stories that he must have stolen from Christmas Town as well when he grabbed everything, reading them profusely. He then begins his scientific experiments, candy cane, snowflakes, stuffed bears, and the like. Sally, after escaping Dr. Finkelstein, because she's been a bad girl, has been locked away in a room for knocking out her master for the last time. But you know what? She's going to figure out how to get out there anyways, because she's a little scamp. Sally has, at this point, broken out, where we learn that she can leap from a window, completely fall apart, and stitch herself back together.
That scene was surprisingly dark
Yeah.
for a kid's movie,
Yeah.
especially the way they filmed it.
Yep.
Like, wow. Can't
But
believe
she's
they got away
happy.
with that.
But she's happy
But-
and smiling, not a care in the world.
Right.
Like it didn't hurt her at all. She's just like, all right, off she goes.
Home ec
You know
wizard Sally. That's all I have to
Right.
say. Not only can she make a mean soup, she can also stitch herself back together.
You know, Eric
It's
Slater,
empowering.
I don't think I ever thought about it until you just said that, if I'm honest. Like, it's just something I accepted as a reality of this picture. And I don't know, that's strange. Like, it never really dawned on me. Like, yeah, that is pretty fucking dark.
It's
Well,
super
the way they show it, and then there's like that pause, and then the guys like look over, and she's still for a second, and it's like, whoa. Yeah.
Also,
I read it differently as an adult.
let's talk about the fact Halloween Town has a live jazz trio playing on its streets.
Mhm.
Like, how Parisian. It's
Yeah.
very
It's
chic.
so great.
Pretty awesome.
But the other thing I was going to say is it's important to the plot to point out here that Sally keeps escaping not only because Dr. Finkelstein's the worst, but also because
Yeah.
she has visions that in which she sees Jack's plan for bringing Christmas to Halloween Town ending in disaster and flames. And so she keeps trying to tell Jack, please don't do this. This is a bad idea.
Mhm.
So that's why she keeps repeatedly, she's not just a stalker. She's a stalker who
Yeah.
can see the future.
With a purpose.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I think she gets the first one after she delivers this basket to Jack, right? That's when she sees the Christmas tree and it ignites on fire, I believe.
That's right after
Yeah.
that part where yep.
That's where I made the note if she has the shining.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Shine on, Sally.
I gotta point this one scene out before we get any further. We have this whole sequence, like a montage, where Jack's trying to logic his way through figuring out what Christmas is,
Yep.
and it's the best thing ever. You know, he approaches it like a science problem,
Mhm.
and I laughed out loud during this scene watching it this time. It was just great because he's like, what does this mean? Because like it's so funny because so much of this stuff doesn't actually have like an inherent meaning with what the holiday is, but it's like it's kind of become part of it, and it's just funny because he's trying to figure out like what's the meaning.
Yeah, there's nothing tangible there. It's
Yeah.
a feeling, it's an emotion, and he doesn't
Right.
get that. And
Exactly.
that is a very cool sequence as well.
Well,
I would
it's-
agree
it's
with that. The song is great too,
profound.
Mhm.
Yeah,
and the lyrics phenomenal. Like it's just so well written. So
definitely.
And there's a great point to be made that, like, if you're completely uninitiated, if you're the Martian, we're using Mars Attacks again, that shows
Sure.
up on Earth, and someone's like, welcome to Christmas. Here is a dead tree that I have in my room for the next month. I'm going to cover
Yeah.
it with this terrible thing, like glitter that gets everywhere. Here is a
Everywhere.
stuffed bear. Why? I don't know. It's there. Like, none of it actually makes sense. So it's all actually
No.
very, like, I loved that he was trying to explain something that is ultimately inexplicable.
Yes.
By his understanding of life, yeah.
Yeah. Here's my TV hanging on my wall that I'm going to play a fireplace on for 8 hours today. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you have opinions about pop culture? Are you looking for the best in movies, music, and TV? Then you should be listening to the Great Pop Culture Debate podcast. Each episode tackles an entertainment topic like Best 90s Soundtrack, Best TV Mom, Best Movie Musical, and so much more. Our smart, funny panelists share compelling arguments while you play along at home via listener brackets. It's interactive, educational, and hilarious. Listen now to dozens of topics and subscribe today so you don't miss what's next. And remember, everyone is entitled to their wrong opinion.
If you're a fan of this podcast
And want to see it continue,
help support us on Patreon,
where you can unlock tons of exclusive content,
Including, but not limited to,
movie commentaries,
ad-free versions of our promo specials,
extended cuts,
early access to new episodes,
behind-the-scenes clips,
first access to merchandise,
blooper reels,
and even a chance to vote on what we cover next on our Podcasters Disassembled episodes.
just head right on over to patreon.com/podcastersassemble.
That's patreon.com/podcasters assemble.
link in the show notes.
So Jack finally finds the answer to his now mundane life, and that is to take over Christmas and make it theirs. So now, not only does he have the town behind him and interested, he starts commissioning the residents to do all sorts of different tasks to prepare for Christmas. And this is where we first meet Lock, Stock, and Barrel, Oogie's boys, which the mayor is. This is where we did see Oogie earlier animated at the opening scene.
Like
we haven't actually
foreshadowing.
met him yet, but the mayor is scared of Oogie. And
Who
Jack,
wouldn't be?
yeah,
He's made out of bugs.
Mm-hmm.
That's disturbing.
which we'll get to later.
speaking of
Spoilers.
Congress,
Mitch McConnell.
oh, who knew that Nightmare Before Christmas was political? I
How
didn't realize
political.
that.
it's true. Well, there's appropriation going on right
Yeah,
now.
the Appropriations Committee. They're
man.
basically giving people work progress administration jobs. Like it actually is. It's the New Deal, folks. That's what's going on here.
Oh man, that's a good read on this movie.
Yep.
And the exits we take while talking.
Mhm.
Sorry, Zach.
Jack sends the Oogie crew out to get Santa Claus, tells them where the grove is, and bring Santa back to Halloween Town. Then we learn that Lock, Stock, and Barrel are, they're going to double cross Jack because they're Oogie's boys, and they're going to let Boogie in on the plan, which we then see. Again, we don't fully get to see Oogie Boogie, but we're starting to learn that he's a dangerous individual.
Another banger song, by the way. The Kidnap the Sandy Claus is a great song.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I love the fact the design of those characters is so good. Like they're traditional Halloween costumes that children would wear. One is a skeleton, one is a witch, one is a devil. And they remove their masks and their faces is the exact same thing.
Pretty
Like,
much
that's
nothing's
just-
different.
Yeah, that's such a
And they're
smart
legit
thing.
terrifying.
Yeah.
like it creeps me out to this day.
They're great stooges too. Like, yes, they
Mhm.
kidnap the wrong person first, but they kidnap someone and
Yes.
then they go and kidnap a second person. Like, I can't get my
Good
niece
for
and
you,
nephew to
honey.
get me a thing of ramen out of the cupboard. So I'm like, look at these children. Do they live in Arkansas? They're being put to work.
That's a good point.
We also get a fun little homage to Beetlejuice with the tiny black and white snakes in the dye.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jack finds Sally when she comes down with the rest of the residents, and as Eric was saying, she's trying to say, "Look, something bad's going to happen, Jack. I've got this feeling it's going to be a disaster." And he's just saying, "No, you just don't get it. It's going to be fine. It'll be great. I just need my suit." And he thinks she's talking about the suit. She's talking about everything she's doing. Lock, Stock, and Barrel show back up. This is where I think they have the Easter Bunny.
Yes.
The first time.
Yeah.
Bunny.
That's great.
Scare the shit out of the Easter Bunny.
Poor Easter Bunny.
And then we get to see Jack be scary enough that Lock, Stock, and Barrel, who were fighting at the time, go, "Oh shit, Jack means business. All right, we better listen." He tells him, "Look, go return the bunny." He apologizes to the Easter Bunny.
Yes.
Do you
Very
think
respectful.
they actually return the Easter Bunny?
No, absolutely
No.
not. They hate
that
that
went down
Easter
the pipe
bunny.
to Oogie Boogie.
That's right.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, that's nice. They returned him." I didn't get that feeling as an adult. I went, "Oh, I think they brought him to Oogie."
I always kind of figured that they maybe put him like in the wrong place. Like they put him back in like St. Patrick's Town or something. I don't
4th of
It's a-
July town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And with the Easter bunny gone,
Tooth Fairyland.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
with the Easter bunny gone, then Jesus can really take back over Easter. You know, the power dynamic there is fundamentally changed.
Oh man, that's great.
Now we have another banger with the Halloween Town begin to make Christmas. They are making Christmas, which I remember from the trailer. Every song is just awesome in this movie. Finally, we see that the Oogie Boys have grabbed Santa. They're bringing him back to Jack, who finally noticed that Sandy Claus doesn't have claws at all. He has hands. And then he says, "You know what? This hat is what I need. That's what's missing of everything going on. I need your hat."
Accessorizing is what separates us from the animals. So,
Yeah. Santa is then brought to Oogie, although Jack says, no, keep him comfortable. And again, Oogie's boys are serving Oogie. So they get him down into Oogie's sanctum dungeon. I don't know what we're
Roulette room?
Casino?
Casino?
Yeah, casino.
BDSM club?
It's the cruise ship casino,
Yeah.
right? It's about as
Slash-
dank and dingy as it comes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
that, and also like one of those like 90s like arcades, you know, what was it, laser tag?
we get
That's
some
what it
really
reminded me of.
cool blacklight
That's
during
what
the
it was.
song, which is
Yeah,
very nice.
that's like the laser tag. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then back in Halloween Town, Jack is getting ready to leave, but Sally is determined to stop him. So she takes the fog juice or fog whatever, pours it into the fountain, and then we can't take off. It's the plot of Rudolph. We can't see anything in front of our face.
Mhm.
But Zero, the trusty dog, arrives who has the glowing pumpkin on his snout, and he's able to lead the team. And off they go. Sally is just sitting there hoping that her premonition was wrong, and then professes her love to Jack in a lovely slow song, because all the songs really so far, most of them have been very upbeat, very
Up-tempo.
entertaining, up-tempo for the kids.
Yeah, accompanied by the jazz band in the
Yes.
street.
Yeah, again, very prescient. Bob, you might know this because you're a Disney person. Is Zero a reference to Frankenweenie? Burton's Frankenweenie?
So-
That's a great question, and I don't know. What were you going to say, Zach?
So that's what I'm going to touch on later. If you want to
geez,
hold
sorry.
that
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. We're going to get to that in about
geez, oh golly,
20
sorry.
minutes. So then Jack begins delivering all of the Halloween Town's versions of Christmas presents, which we saw a bunch being made during Making Christmas. I love the creativity. I love
yeah.
the Halloween. And I think some of the Halloween Town residents are going, this is what they want. This is legit. This is great, because they think Halloween Town. They want this stuff. Also not realizing, I think, some of these things may kill some humans.
Yeah. It is a laugh riot, the
Yes.
sequence. It is just escalating laughs from beginning to end. Probably one of the funniest sequences in almost any movie, right? It is just so funny and creative, and like when that kid pulls that shrunken head, Beetlejuice reference, pulls that
Yes.
shrunken head out of that box with his parents there, with the look on his face, it is priceless. Vincent Priceless, another reference. There you are. It is priceless. Like it is just so funny and so creative and fun.
And so much trauma.
Yeah.
Yes.
These kids need so much therapy. We've got an evil wreath that's killing an old lady. We've got flying vampire dolls, evil ducks, evil jack-o'-lanterns chasing poor overweight kids with rugs slipping out from under them.
That kid, that's right.
I saw myself in that scene. Very, very, yeah.
The funniest part that makes me laugh out loud every time is when this giant snake is eating the Christmas tree, and that
Mhm.
little kid is letting out the most high-pitched scream you've ever heard, just losing his fucking mind. I can't help but laugh every time, and I feel awful because I'm going, that kid is so traumatized right now.
Pretty good,
Speaking
though.
of eating the Christmas tree, I believe it is the aluminum Christmas tree
Yes.
that the snake is
Yes.
eating, which I think is
Oh.
another incredible deep cut to the 70s of like, remember aluminum Christmas trees where you had this weird box on the floor that like just shined a light that rotated onto the
Mhm.
tree? It was just this weird aluminum Christmas tree. Like that was a thing. The 70s were
Yeah.
wild, man.
It's the 60s or the 50s. but what
60s,
was it?
70s,
Yeah.
for sure.
It was earlier. They make reference to that in the Charlie Brown Christmas special
yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
still have the
Wow.
metal aluminum trees there.
Growing up, when I'd go to the attic to get like Christmas stuff out of the attic, we had an aluminum Christmas tree in the attic, and I would when I found it, I go to my parents. I'm like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Well, that's an aluminum Christmas tree." I'm like, "Why do you have this? Like, do you ever put this up or whatever?" They're like, "Oh yeah, the previous owners just left that in the house. They didn't want that."
Do
So
you
they're like,
guys-
"We never put it up."
Do they still have it, Bob?
It's probably still up there.
Do you know what I would do for an authentic 1950s aluminum Christmas tree? The
I'll
kitsch
take a look.
value alone. Like,
I'll ask my mother. I'll ask
Yeah.
my mother and see.
Perfect.
Neither one of them can go up in the attic anymore to go check. I'm gonna have to check the next time I'm there, but yeah.
Perfect.
So at this point, the police, who have been getting more and more phone calls, are now figuring out that somebody, is impersonating Santa. So what do? You scramble the military.
Yeah.
We're going to go take out Santa, or the fake Santa.
The air raid sirens.
Yeah.
Like that whole sequence is so amazing. It
So-
feels like an alien invasion movie. I feel like this is the moment where Burton was like, okay, I need to make Mars attacks.
Mars
now.
attacks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Look, they took away
Artillery
Christmas.
shells.
We're
Yeah.
taking this SOB out.
That's right.
Today they celebrate their Christmas day.
So Sally sees this. She rushes off going, I got to get Santa. He's the only one who can save it. And she almost rescues him, but she is discovered by Oogie Boogie. Jack is continuing to fly around. He's eventually shot down by the military, and everyone thinks that he's killed. I don't know how they thought you can kill the undead. I don't know the rules, but they thought
The
that...
man was on fire at the beginning of this movie.
I know.
Like,
True.
So the police then report that the imposter has been shot down. Christmas may be canceled without Santa. Jack begins to question everything that he has done, how bad he has messed up Christmas. But he is now inspired for next Halloween. He now has some great ideas, and he's not ready to give up. So,
All about that silver lining.
yes. Also, not only can trees transport you, apparently sepulchers can transport you, because
Yeah.
he runs down into a sepulcher and then he pops up from another one out near Halloween Town. So he somehow transported himself back to Halloween Town that way. But they have to go into the real world every Halloween anyways, so I'm sure they know how to do that.
so I guess they don't use the tree. There is no trees to the real world. The real world accesses something other than trees.
Oh. Yeah, the trees are in a different realm entirely, right? Is that
Because
what we're
that's the
saying?
real world. So there's no, in the real world, I guess that would mean that there's no access to the trees.
Hmm.
Maybe the
That-
trees were the friends we made along the way.
Maybe. So, whatever. That's a tangent. Whatever.
So back in Halloween Town, Oogie's he's going to melt Santa and Sally because he wants to eat them?
Unclear.
Yes, because he inhaled bugs and probably an Easter bunny, we're assuming.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
Oh, definitely.
So he's got lava and a giant stirring thing. Jack shows up to rescue Santa and fight Oogie, which Oogie is afraid of Jack. So Jack's got some swagger. He's got that big bone energy.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's see. Then Oogie's costume becomes ripped, and we find out that he is just a bunch of bugs. So the final bug, as everything's falling down into lava and melting, in the little bug that keeps screaming before it's squished by Santa, was that the queen bug? Are they a hive mind? How did Oogie start?
Are they the Borg?
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
a good question.
he eats bugs earlier in
Yes.
the film. Like the kids.
So he's like
birth a bug.
assimilating.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
like the Borg. Like
So
he
did-
assimilates them.
Did he
a
start
good
as a
point.
pillow sack, or the hat from Harry Potter
Right.
that tells you where the fuck to sit? That one.
So you're saying, did he start as the sack before the bugs entered him, or did he start as a bug and took on the sack as his?
My
That
God.
sounds
Oh God,
really.
there was so
I
much
can't
to
believe
unpack
I
there.
said that out loud.
There's a lot to unpack there.
I'm just gonna.
Let's just unpack the sack. It'll be fine.
Never mind.
Let's
Let's move
unpack
on.
that sack. Oh, you have homosexuals on the pod. So.
I know. You can't throw sack and bone at me and not expect me to take a swing. I'm sorry. That's not going to
No, it's
happen.
understandable. Yeah, it happens. But
I love this episode. I really do. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
yeah, we need to get you on more. This whole scene though is so disturbing. Like even today, like it's gross. It's real gross.
It's a lot of
Like
bugs.
some serious body horror kind of stuff going on too.
So if we can pause again to talk about who steps on that bug, it's Santa Claus
It's Santa.
with his very dainty foot.
Very
The
dainty.
man can do
design.
drag if he wants to. He can have
Absolutely.
any shoe that he wants.
Yeah.
And
Like-
also, Mama, we saw Santa's bloomers in that scene,
It's
and I was
true.
not ready for it. I was like, does that mean Santa canonically does not wear pants in this universe? Because he's just out there in a robe and his underpants.
true.
And I was
Yep.
like, hide your shame, Santa.
Yeah,
Like,
we saw that when they
mean-
shoved him down the pipe with a
Yeah.
pitchfork and a plunger, and I was like, oh no.
I
He's
know.
got a
Santa.
24-hour shift ahead of him. Give him
Right?
some slack. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to work with pants on either.
He's
That's
just out
fair.
there. He's just out there delivering presents, free balling it.
Stopping by Wawa, getting filled up.
Oh man, this
Speaking
is
of
a
sack,
scandal waiting to happen.
anyway.
Yeah. What a king. Yeah.
After Santa crosses the line of becoming a murderer, apparently,
Yep.
he does the next best thing and takes off to save Christmas at lightning speed. He's
That's right.
taking away all the Halloween presents. He's giving out the actual Christmas presents. Jack and Sally, are rescued by the mayor and Boogie's boys, who apparently have had to change a heart. And then throughout the montage, Santa fixes everything, all the damage that Jack has caused. And then we see Santa flying over Halloween Town, causing it to snow. And we get a reprise of What's This? And This Is Halloween together.
Mhm.
And we learn that the doctor has replaced Sally with his new creation that we saw him kind of working on earlier. Jack then follows Sally to the graveyard, where they finally get to profess their feelings for one another. And the end of the film.
Aw.
Yeah,
Aw.
that was an awesome ending.
A thought I had while watching it this time is, so we've acknowledged that the children of the world are deeply traumatized by what has happened, right?
Oh,
Yes.
Do you think at one point the
yeah. Myself
parents
included.
were like having conversations like, what if we don't let Christmas happen this year? Like, what if we take this opportunity and be like, this is because you were bad. Like every child was so naughty. Like it's some Krampus realness, right? Like,
Yeah.
and like maybe, but then you imagine those children growing up and being adults themselves. Can you imagine what it would be like? Like when I was 7 years old, this terrifying ghoul came and dropped off like vampire dolls that were trying to kill me. What's happening this
And
Christmas?
And I think there's
Oh, man.
another lesson or something to take away is that yes, these children had a trauma, and as somebody who
trauma.
grew
Yeah.
yes,
Just one.
as somebody who grew up through the 80s, trauma was integral to my growth and development as a human being.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The movies that I
Absolutely.
saw,
That is
Never-Ending Story,
Artax in the swamp. It's over.
Artax, like
we
you-
touched
you-
upon that one. Yeah.
Yeah, like you need to have that trauma. It builds character, and
Hey,
we
it
don't
does,
have
it
enough
does.
trauma
You know,
for our children today.
It's
Kids
Not
true.
enough
these
trauma.
days.
Zach, you have some young children. You're a second new dad again for a second time.
Yep.
So
Trauma.
traumatize them.
Oh yeah, don't worry. They'll be
It
They'll
just
be
happens
seeing-
naturally.
they'll be seeing all the films. Be like, yeah, all right, you're old enough to cry. Here you go.
What about a
Yeah.
giant snake on the Christmas tree? I'm just saying, it's the reason for the season.
I learned
like
this
that.
from an animated film.
Yeah.
It fits right in.
Yep.
So it is a musical. It is a kids movie. Can you pick a favorite song from the movie, Bob? Do you have one?
I think it's and I wish I knew the name of the song, but it is the one where Jack is in his tower and the one that Eric had brought up earlier, and trying to calculate and figure out what Christmas is. Like,
I think it's called Jack's Lament.
Yes, that's correct. Jack's Lament. I just it's unlike a lot of the other songs in the movie. It's the melody is just very unorthodox. It's strange. It's not just a catchy bop, but and the lyrics are just so well written, and the story in that portion is just so interesting. And it's just a really great character development moment for our character in an animated feature film, right? Like with such great talent in words and just character development for a stick figure.
Yeah. To build off of that, I feel like it almost feels like a Shakespearean monologue.
Yeah.
Like with modern writing. It's the kind
Yeah.
of,
It's like, and it's not something you can really hum along to. I mean, I guess, singing it in my bathroom earlier when I was brushing my teeth, but like, anyway.
Eric, what about you?
Which Eric?
Which one?
Resniak, sorry.
So for me, I'm currently working on our Best Les Miserables song episode right now. And one of the things I was talking about in my script for that is I love a campy villain song. And I think Oogie Boogie's song is perfect. It is fun. It is sassy. He's such a delicious little bitch in it. And I just live, and it's also from a filmmaking perspective, that scene is super impressive. Like the whole movie is impressive, but like the angles and it feels very automatic, but it's all like hand built. It's beautifully done. And that whole song and that sequence when he's just feeling his oats, it's very Ursula, Poor Unfortunate Souls. And that's 100% my aesthetic. So that's the one for me.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Other Eric?
It's got to be the Christmas Town one. Christmas Land? Christmas.
What's this?
What's this?
Yeah. What's this?
That's the one.
What's this? What's this?
It's your favorite song.
It's so good. Like it really gets stuck in your head, in a good way, like not in like the kind that will drive you insane, but yeah, I dig it.
For me, it is a toss up between Oogie Boogie or What's This, and they're for different reasons. To me, they're both very aesthetically pleasing to watch. They both sound really visually. They're both stunning for different reasons, but they're both very fun to listen to. For again, two totally different reasons. What's This is more of a kind of a happy sing along, but Oogie Boogie is like in The Little Mermaid with Ursula. Like it draws you in. I don't know which one I'd go with. I probably What's This, just because I sing that more in my head than the Oogie Boogie song.
Yeah, you can apply it to everyday life too.
Yeah.
What's this? What's this?
Yeah, it's a little harder to kind of apply the other one.
But I do find myself now also just
doing laundry. Sorry.
randomly singing about kidnapping Santa Claus. That's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
And all the shit that I'm going to bring, how we're going to blow him up, how I'm going to capture him. It's, yeah, that's good. So one of the things I wanted to touch on, and Eric, you started to tease this earlier, there is a fan theory of how Nightmare Before Christmas is the third film of a trilogy, where the story starts with Frankenweenie, continues with Corpse Bride, and ends with The Nightmare Before Christmas. And that I have not seen Frankenweenie or Corpse Bride, so I only know what I've read, but the basic idea, and have you guys seen the other two films?
Yes.
I've seen Corpse Bride.
I've seen Frankenweenie. I haven't seen Corpse Bride.
Okay.
And are we referring to the short Frankenweenie, or are we referring to the feature Frankenweenie?
I didn't know that there's a difference. I just delved down the rabbit hole that I accidentally found that spoke. This is what I found. The lineup that they were going with was that the boy and the dog from Frankenweenie
Mhm.
continue. Frankenweenie, I guess, perishes at some point or is
Mhm.
brought back, so on and
Mhm.
so forth. It
Yeah.
continues. The storyline continues within the Corpse Bride, where the boy is now grown up to and changes his name for traumatic reasons to the main character of Corpse
Oh.
Bride. But because of his connection with Frank and Weenie being dead and coming back, was somehow tied into the Corpse Bride and his connection with her, but his real wife that he wanted to get back to. And then after a long life, when that character dies, because of his connection to the afterlife through Corpse Bride, he is naturally resurrected as Jack Skellington in Halloween Town, and that Frankenweenie has continued with him through the other movies and is Zero in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Without seeing the other films, I don't know the names. I don't remember anything. I just remember going down this rabbit hole going, I bet it's a stretch, but it's kind of like Pixar, where a
Right.
lot of
Yeah.
shit's connected.
Yeah. I like
Like,
that.
the ants, are in the same place that with the trailer that's abandoned that the gecko from Monsters Inc. gets dropped into,
Mm.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Totally.
What do you guys think? If you've
It-
seen the film, so is that
yeah.
a stretch? Is it just more of a fan theory? Is it fun? What is it?
I don't think it's a stretch. But also think it's probably just a fan theory and just is a lot of fun to think about. It's interesting because there is the Franken Weenie short, which is from the 80s. It stars Bastion Barrett Oliver from Neverending Story.
Whoa.
Because
Okay.
it is not a stop motion and it's a short. And it's got
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
Spencer McKenzie dog in it.
This okay,
Um,
so this was just the Tim Burton stop animation films.
Yep. So
That's what they
that
were
was
going with.
he went back to Frankenweenie later to make it the full feature length stop
Mm.
motion, which is interesting because Nightmare, Corpse Bride, Frankenweenie is the order of the films that
Mhm.
they made, but
Yeah.
you're saying that it's backwards from a timeline perspective,
That
right?
that was that was the theory that I was reading.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really like that.
But Frankenweenie, just to sidebar quick, Frankenweenie's a great movie too. Well, both of them are, but the stop motion is really, really fun. The characters in it are great, and the lighting style that they choose in there, I can't even describe it, but it's just so harsh from a lighting style. That's just so interesting to look at. I highly recommend that movie as well. So I'm not a
It was
big
Nice.
Corpse Bride fan, but that's just me. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
No, I was gonna say Frankenweenie, I think, was Burton's original passion project. Like that was his
Yes,
first original property that he was trying because he was an animator at Disney. He worked on Fox and the Hound, I know, and a
that's
couple
right.
other. And I think
Yeah.
like this was the movie he was trying to actually get made before he got picked up for Pee-wee. And so for him, I think once he actually found success, he went back to it because he's like, this was my original baby, and I really want to see this completely brought to fruition in the way that I envisioned it.
Yeah, so I haven't seen Frankenweenie yet. I really need to watch it. I'm a huge Frankenstein fan. Like I love the original and I've read the book and all that. So it's weird that I haven't seen that movie yet. But the theory kind of makes sense. I don't know about the timeline, because I feel like Corpse Bride's more of a period piece, but like there's something kind of cool about that because it's like, boyhood, adulthood, after death. Like I kind of like that, trilogy idea there, thematically at least. That's really cool.
You do raise a good point about the period piece
Mhm.
aspect of Corpse
Yeah,
Bride
so I don't know
to
about the
debunk
timeline.
that theory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were just
Could be a
really into
past
that
life.
style.
Could be a
But
past life,
Could
and
be a
yeah,
past
so it's out
life.
of order.
Sure.
Time is secular, right? Is that the
Circular?
word? Circular? Secular?
secular? Jeremy Baramy? I don't know.
I mean, if we want to get technical, according to some theoretical physicists, time doesn't actually exist. It's just our perceptions of it. So,
Oh God.
yeah,
So-
that'll keep you up at night.
So we
need to
touched
start
on we touched on earlier how a sequel, Disney wanted a sequel. Back in February of 2019, apparently there were reports of a Nightmare Before Christmas film. Disney was considering either a sequel or a live action remake, as they do.
Ugh.
Chris Sarandon has expressed interest in reprising his role if Jack Skellington is ever in a sequel film, if it ever materializes. But back in February 2021, Disney Publishing actually did produce a sequel. It's in the form of a young adult novel. It was released as Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, written by Shia Earnshaw. It features Sally as the main character, told from her point of view, with the events taking place after the film, and the book was released in August of 2022. So
I'm fine with that.
a sequel technically
That's
does
pretty
exist
recent.
in book form. If anybody wants to read it, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's how I would be accepting of a continuation of this property. There is within the last 6 months, maybe the last 12 months, there has been a comic series that was launched as well. I think Dynamite was the publisher that put that out, if I'm not mistaken, but there was definitely a comic series for this property as well. I don't need another movie. I think the movie is perfect as it is, and not everything needs a sequel, people. Not everything needs to franchise.
Right.
No, yep, there it is. July of this year, Disney was partnering with Dynamite, publishing the new comic series based upon the film.
I have to say, the idea of following Sally makes a lot of sense. Sally's the only person in Halloween Town who actually knows what's going on and has a brain. Like, it is a little messed up that the gal who threw herself out the window is the voice of reason, and yet she very much is. Like, she's the one being like, maybe this is not a great idea. Like,
She knew she'd be fine.
yeah, she'd be fine.
Well, before we fully wrap up, what do you have any other fleeting thoughts, things that you want to touch on? Anything, Eric Slater?
Sure, I'll start. So just a couple things real quick. The final scene is great. All the snow over Halloween Town, the icicles off of the spiral mountain in the graveyard. It's just chef's kiss. So good. Just visually. But the other thing I really need to shout out is the guy who plays Santa Claus did such an amazing job. Like, this is my Santa Claus. Like, he nailed it. Just quintessential Santa.
Yeah, he's perfect for that role. He's brusque, but also, like, he's a mensch, right? Like, at the end, he's super nice, and he doesn't have any reason to be, because Jack has really fucked up his shit.
Yeah,
It's the voice, and he is the voice that it's not Patrick Stewart in the actual film. He is the voice of the narration at the beginning.
Yeah, that you hear.
It is Santa narrating.
Ed Ivory, I think.
Yes, Ed Ivory.
Who it was. Yep. What about you, Eric Resniak?
One of the things I would say, if you like this movie and you have not watched it, on Netflix there's a series called The Movies That Made Us, and they do have an episode devoted to this film. It's really interesting. You get to see the behind the scenes, how they actually made it. We talked about how there's not a lot of stop animation done, and when you're watching that, you understand why that is, because it takes forever to do these types of films properly. I want to say it was like 8+ months, possibly longer, that they were on the soundstage making this film. And my recollection, I haven't watched it since it came out, which was during the pandemic, was that, like, Burton himself was on the ground maybe 2 days of the entire shoot. Basically, it was Selleck running the show. Burton gave him the idea. It was his concept, and Selleck really ran with it. But it was, if you like the movie and you haven't watched it, I strongly recommend checking it out.
Yeah, to supplement that piece, because I watched that episode too, Eric. He was busy. We didn't mention this at the beginning. He was busy doing Batman Returns, and that's why he was not directing this film. We didn't touch on that at the very beginning. But yes, he was there maybe once or twice throughout the whole production, but he pretty much did like video calls. As soon as he would wrap on Batman for the day, he was on the phone through video calls with Henry Selick. What did you work on today? What did we do? Like, all of those things. So like, his hands are very much all over this. When we did our best Tim Burton episode, our debate for the great pop culture debate, when we did that episode, it was a topic that I wanted to do as a selection. So that's why we did it. And I was actually arguing when we built the bracket to say, is this a Tim Burton film to include on the list of Tim Burton films? Because everything else he directed, right? This he did not. So, but we did include it in the end, and in the bracket, it made it onto the bracket and all of those things, because his fingerprints and DNA are all over it, from top to tail. And, because he was so well involved in it. And, really cool. It's a really cool story, actually, from a filmmaking perspective. It's a really fascinating story, and I recommend that episode as well. And I don't want to steal thunder, Zach, but I thought we were going to talk about this, and you may still bring it up. Is it a Halloween? Is it a Christmas? Is it?
That was going to be, if you didn't have anything else, that was going to be my question
All
was,
right, back over to you.
over to me. So The Nightmare Before Christmas, the whole film happens between Halloween night, the very end of Halloween night, and Christmas Eve. That is the span of our movie. And our very first Podcasters Disassembled episode that we did was Die Hard, which we had Chris Carroll from Comic Zombie, a very good friend of Eric Slater's, and he loves Die Hard. For him, it's a Christmas movie because it happens at Christmas. It's something that he watches every year. I never grew up with Die Hard, so for me, I understand the logic behind it, but for me, it's not a Christmas movie because my Christmas movie is not based upon the time. It's based upon the concept and the ideals and the the journey that your characters go on. And John McClane does have a journey. Is it dependent on Christmas? I don't think so. But this, I feel, is more of a Christmas film from my standard of just what the plot is based around. Yes, it starts at Halloween. It technically happens, most of the time happens going into Thanksgiving and then after Thanksgiving into Christmas. Black Friday and all that shenanigans and bullshit.
The nightmare of Cyber Monday.
What do you mean I can't get this TV? So for me, I consider this a Christmas film, but I'll certainly watch it on Halloween because it's being shown on Halloween. You know, you turn on Disney, it's being highlighted, free, all your freeform Disney channels, they feature it. And it is a spooky Halloween themed movie that also has Christmas in it. But that's my personal opinion. What about you, Bob?
Yeah, I feel like we're on a episode of the Great Pop Culture Debate where we're debating on whether or not this is
I wanted to bring in a taste of what you do.
It is very much a personal decision, I think, for the viewer to determine what this falls into. I personally think of it more as a Halloween movie based on all of the characters and most of the settings.
Oh yeah,
we're in Christmas Town for less than 5 minutes total.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much Halloween characters. It does end up being a nightmare for them in the end, right? It's not a happy Christmas until Santa saves it in the end after squashing the bug with his tiny shoe. But that for me, I think it's more of the Halloween. But again, to your point, you'll see it on Freeform for the month of October, and you probably will also see it on Freeform for the month of December.
A month later.
Yes, exactly.
That's how it rolls.
So for me, it's Halloween, but again, no wrong answer, I guess, because it's really a personal decision.
Well, first, before I answer, what is your Christmas movie, Zach? You kind of teed us up, but you didn't tell us what it was.
Oh, goodness. I will get back to you on that because I actually have to think about if I have to choose a movie.
Yeah.
All right. I will put some thought into that.
Okay, fair. For me, this is definitely it's an Arbor Day film. No, I'm kidding. I agree with everything that Bob said. For me, it is primarily like the aesthetic of it, the vibe of this film is overwhelmingly macabre and spooky. It's not that I wouldn't watch it on Christmas, but for me, it definitely falls more in the Halloween vein.
So, I mean, is it okay to say both? Because
sure,
you can say what you want, buddy.
To me,
your show.
It's got all the trappings of a great Halloween movie. Like, it's definitely got that theme down, but it also is absolutely about the spirit of the Christmas season. So it's like this perfect fusion of the two in my book. Yes, you do have more Halloween elements than Christmas elements, but Christmas is like kind of the main plot of the movie. So it really is like this in this nebulous liminal space between the two holidays. So yeah, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
Henry Selick, I believe, will tell you that it is a Halloween movie. Based on some research that I did.
Mm-hmm.
But what the fuck does he know?
Right? What did he ever do? Yeah.
Right. He only directed Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. That still cracks me up. Yeah, exactly.
So for me, I guess when I think back to my childhood, just what I would watch every year was A Christmas Story because it was always on. So I did grow up watching that. I mean, there's all the little Christmas specials like I've touched on with Rankin and Bass. Those were a big part of it. I mean, even though Santa's a complete douche canoe and Rudolph, I love watching it. I look forward to it. He is the
such a jerk.
fucking worst. He is awful. But I think in my later years, I do look forward to Elf every year. After that, that's like one of those, Favreau, like lightning in a bottle, like was just, and Will Ferrell's touch and go for me. Sometimes he's great. Sometimes like, no, I'm good. I don't, semi-pro can suck it. But, but I enjoy Elf. And my wife introduced me to The Snowman, where I think it's a German cartoon. And it had the only spoken dialogue is a song by a small by a children's choir partway through the special, as the snowman is taking the child to meet all these other snowmen from all over the world that have all been brought to life, and he gets to meet Santa and gets a present. And then at the end of the special, it doesn't end how you would think. It's definitely a kind of a sadder, somber ending. But that's something that I also really enjoy, and that's a newer tradition that my wife introduced me to, and that was one of her specials and movies that she grew up on. So,
does it go midsummer, Zach? Is that what happens at the end of that?
Or do the sprockets show up and dance? Our sprockets, but we dance.
No,
Okay.
it's a great, if you ever go and find, I'm sure it's online on YouTube or something. The Snowman. I lied. It does start with, I think, the author speaking about the book, but then the animation, there is no speaking. It's just a boy, his family, a snowman, and you wonder if it's all real. Was it in his head? It's a fun cartoon.
It's based
that you
on
can
a children's
appreciate.
book?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think I'm familiar with that children's book now that you're saying that again. So
Yeah, the book I think was back in the 70s, and the cartoon was made maybe in the 80s. I don't have that
awesome.
wiki in front of me. Sorry.
We'll have to check
But
that out.
that's my Christmas history, I guess. So we do like to end. Leo at Voluntary Input, back when he made us watch The Car, wanted us to start rating films out of 5. So, Bob, what would you rate this out of 5?
5 stars. No hesitation. 5
No.
stars.
Eric Resniak.
I think I would give it a 4.
Okay.
Do I have to
Because you're an
explain my
awful human
rating?
being.
You-
Because you're terrible.
Because you're terrible, Muriel. You're terrible. No. The reason I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 is because there are other films that I've watched that the artistic merits of this film are terrific. It's off the charts from the artistic perspective, but in terms of the evocativeness and the flawlessness of execution in terms of pacing and everything else, I feel like it's slightly lacking compared to some other films. And if I'm going to put it on a scale, I have to give some room for something is better than this. So I give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. Eric Slater.
I'm very hesitant to give it 5 stars, but I will say I think it's a solid 4.5 for me.
I can't think what's wrong with it. I can't think off the top of my head what would be better than it. I'm sure there is one. There may be a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie I do enjoy more than it. So I would be there with a 4.5 or a 5. I just can't think of what's better. So it's a great film. I love going back to it. I'll watch it whether it's Halloween or Christmas. I'll sing along to it. I don't give a shit. This is a timeless classic that still looks amazing, decades later. And people still love it. Rotten Tomatoes, 95% tomato meter. Audience score, only 92. What the fuck's wrong with you? That should be higher.
That was me. I'm that guy. Yeah.
I don't think it will ever not look great.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
when you talk about animation from a computer animation style, like and how you see how that ages, or just CG in movies in general, like CGI and all of those things, how they age so poorly. This will not age, and this will always look great.
Do you know why, Bob? Because it's something that Eric and I love. Practical effects.
Yes, absolutely.
And even with practical effects that are decades old, still they look damn good.
Yep.
Even when they don't look good, they look better
look
than
good.
meh CG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, practical effects are where it's at. Huge proponent.
Well,
everyone that listens to this podcast knows that by now. They're sick of hearing it.
Practically.
Bob and Eric, thank you so much for joining us for this jaunt down Halloween/Christmas during the month of October. Again, let people know where they can find you over at the Great Pop Culture Debate. What is coming up? This will be wrapped up before Halloween, so what do you have coming up that you'd like to plug?
Sure. So first of all, you can go to greatpopculturedebate.com. That's our website. It has all of our episodes. It also has the brackets, so you can actually play along with us at home. So you can compare your notes to what we picked and yell at us, as many of our listeners do. We also have polls that you can actually have a say in what we talk about next. So you get to choose the topics we cover, and you get to actually determine what the top 32 are based on your individual poll votes. So coming up next, our Halloween special will be releasing. It probably will be out by the time this comes out. It's best horror film franchise. We are very excited about that one. We have two very special guest stars who are our panelists on that one. They do an amazing job. And then beyond that, season 8 is currently wrapping up. We'll have, after that one, we have best superhero film. We have
Broadway musical.
Best 2000s Broadway musical. Best Doctor Who companion in time for the 60th anniversary.
Talk about practical effects.
Exactly. Best TV detective. So all of your crime solvers and NYPD Blue and Law and Order detectives. And then we go right into our holiday episodes. This time we're doing Best Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade Balloon. There has never been a less essential episode of the Great Pop Culture Debate. And then we are doing our best holiday album. So it's all holiday albums that have ever come out in history, full albums. And then we go into our best of 2023s, in which our panelists talk about the films, albums, books, and TV shows that we loved this year.
All right. Mr. Slater, where can everybody find you?
Always at Eric Slater. That's Eric with the K, Slater with the D. D as in Delta, all over social media, X, Twitter, whatever it's called, Instagram, and several different podcasts, which I'll be posting there, if that makes sense.
All right. You can normally find me over at Neatcast or harassing Eric here on Podcasters Assembled and Disassembled. And I appreciate everybody listening. Be sure to check out the Patreon for Prince Harming. Erica Carroll, I know, was one of ours. Who else did we have? Somebody?
Ryan McPherson, aka Frost from the Super Switch Club, and Megan Slater.
We're also starting up the new Podcasters Assembled season, right, Eric? Hit him with the Ghibli Ghibli. You're the smart one. You say it.
So we're starting up our Studio Ghibli season with. I want to say our Nausicaa episode should be coming out shortly after this episode, but we're still taking entries for Castle in the Sky, Totoro, Spirit Away, and a whole bunch of others. So definitely check them all out over at probablywork.com, where you can submit and check out all our other great podcasts. If you've never been a part of the show, if you're a longtime listener and want to try it out, now's a great time to jump in.
So, thank you so much for tuning in, Eric and Bob. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, and podcasters, until next time, don't get obsessed about Sandy Claus, or you may get nabbed and sucked by an oogie and ask, what's this?
That has happened to me so many times in my life, I cannot tell you.
Podcasters Assemble is a production of the We Can Make This Work Probably Podcast Network. Find more of our shows at probablywork.com and learn how to contribute to future episodes of Podcasters Assemble by looking us up on Twitter and Instagram at Casters Assemble. You can also help support this podcast by visiting patreon.com/podcasters Podcasters Assemble. Voiceover by random faceless man in front of a microphone in a basement. Goes by the first name Dave, last name Steele. That shouldn't be too hard to track down. This episode was edited by
Zach Derby.
Thank you to everyone who was able to contribute to this episode, especially me. Be sure to check the show notes for links to where you can find them all online. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for this special cross-podcast stocking stuffer. We hope this cheerful chat about The Nightmare Before Christmas added a little extra sparkle to your season. If you enjoyed hearing Eric, Bob, Zach, and Eric be the happiest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house, go explore the treasure trove of episodes waiting for you in the archives of both Great Pop Culture Debate and Podcasters Assembled. Think of it as gifting yourself hours of joyful listening without even needing gift wrap. If you want to keep the GPCD chair going all year, follow us on Blue Sky at gpcd.bsky.social, Instagram at Great Pop Culture Debate, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to show some love to our friends at Podcasters Assembled. Find them on Blue Sky at podcastersassemble.bsky.social and on Instagram at castersassemble. Feeling extra jolly? Support us on Patreon. It helps keep the debates merry and bright. We'll be back the first week of January with more debates, more delights, and plenty more pop culture cheer. Until then, stay merry, stay bright, and may your days be filled with cookies, cozy vibes, and killer content. Happy holidays from all of us at GPCD!